Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy. Be fun thinking right out here in the lab. What I do to do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. Well, I always got a nice for you, know the deal. So let's go. Right is a 25 rules to live by. Storyteller. Story with a message. The message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to one that you like. But I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. And that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment with knowledge of self. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission. That all right thinkers do just that. If you tune in for me, that's what you should be here for, to get your information to help you know yourself. Let's go. That's what I do for you. Know thyself is the question I ask. And it's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, check me out. I can help you with that. That's what I do. You. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's what I do. What I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know dangers. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I can wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and know that they know is wise. Follow them. All these places they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. This argument is getting pretty old. This horse we keep beating this horse. What I'm talking about, sorry about that. Right thinkers, let's talk about how I'll take spiritual history over religious history. And I'm trying to make a point to all my religious Christian family and friends and Jews and Muslims. They was getting to God before religion comes along. So let's talk about the history. Not nothing else. The history. A lot of you Bible thumpers don't know the history of that book. You might know what's in that book. Do you know what went on for that book to be written? Who made it? Where it come from? All those is public. All this public domain. You can find that for yourself. I don't have to keep telling you that, and I'm not gonna keep telling you that. I'm just saying you need to do some homework and check on your history. But until you do that, let me enlighten you to a few things about religious history. I studied and I mastered spiritual history, aka right thing philosophy, which I call it, but semi-Tawi, Shita Netta, Egyptian mystery, whatever you want to call it. I spent time learning and mastering. So now I have my version of it, hence right thinking. But let's talk about religious history, which I know a little bit about that for you Bible thumpers. I live by my spiritual truths, and that's right in philosophy what we represent us stand on. If you're spiritual, you know your spiritual truths, and you should also live by them. And by doing that, meaning you're manifesting for yourself the blessings that you earn from living and doing the right thing. So you and your higher self become known spiritually, religiously. If you're religious, listen, you only know 2,000 years of history. I call it religious lies, aka the well-dressed lie. And religious history is filled with just that, but it ain't my job to point that out. I'm tired of that nonsense. But the history of religion, you can find that for yourself. I don't know many spiritual enlightened Christians, Muslims, or Jews. Why? Because they go by dogma and they follow a concept that really lead them the wrong way. That's why. I know a lot of spiritually enlightened God conscious right thinkers, and we're growing when daily. Thanks to me. Why? I'm giving information. All you gotta do is take it and put it to use. You see for yourself. That's why. Again, spiritual history, ancient Egyptian concepts. They called it religious, but it's really ancient spiritual concepts that if you live by it, religion means you live in it. It means to relate, religare, link back, get you back to the essence, which is supposed to be God, because every religion professes God. So I get the concept, but I also know the misunderstanding, misinterpretation. So I don't have no problem not listening or adhering to what they say. Why? I got my own information. I got my own knowledge that I live by. Trust me, that's all. Now, I tell you, we are spiritual beings having a what? Religious experience. If you follow or pick any one of those to follow, then you have a religious experience. Simple as that. But you are a spiritual being. So I'm living a spiritual disciplined lifestyle, not a religious dogmatic lifestyle. Moving on. If you're religious, okay, your history is not as old, it's not too old, but it's really new, not better. They took those things called the New Testament, right? The Old Testament with Moses, the New Testament, all that. See, that's I got no stories, understand them, just don't subscribe to them. But I know what you're doing. If you're spiritual, watch this. You have what? God knowledge, aka spiritual knowledge. I'm God centered, okay? From our ancient ancestors, not the Roman Catholic people who wrote this book that you so love, which y'all call the Bible. I'm not here to beat the Bible up. I'm just trying to show you the history. And do yourself a favor and study it. I did. Look it up. If you're religious, again, you're a Roman Catholic. No, I'm Protestant, I'm Baptist. No, no, no. All that comes from Roman Catholics. And guess what? They got it wrong. They stole knowledge and they still got it wrong when they present it. So I'm not listening to that. If you know your religious history, if you studied and really took time to, you say, whoa, you might not stay with that religious concept. Why? Because now you start to see it for what it is, not for what you want it to be or what somebody else. Nope. You should use your own judgment about that one. I'm moving on. We are, right now, product of what? Our ancients were the products of spiritual, okay, products. We all spiritual concept. Right now, since we've been into that Bible thing, we are the product of religious history. The last 2,000 years, so we've been in that thing. They wrote the Bible. I say they mean the Roman Catholics. Our ancient ancestors were the product of spiritual history. hmm Look what they did. Pyramids, temples, pyramids, the Sphinx. We did some good stuff. What have y'all done for God lately? Moving on. We as a race of people have been under biblical rule, aka religious history, for the last 2,000 years. We are not born religious. Okay? Religious concept is man-made, and it's from the man who didn't know what he was doing. How about that? So he did it with intent. Another lesson, moving on. We are more religious than spiritual, and that's not right thinking philosophy to me. Why? Religious people tend to do a whole lot of bad stuff, and they rely on what? God's forgiveness. What about man? What about the man that you wrong? How he supposed to just forgive you for doing him wrong, killing his son or raping his daughter? He supposed to just forgive you? No. Eye for an eye. I'm with Moses on that one. You poke mine, I'm gonna poke yours. You kill mine, I'm gonna kill yours. With that understanding, that will cut out a lot of that nonsense that we do in the name of God or religion. Priests molesting little boys. Really? In church? You can't trust your kid to go to church? They had to stop the boy club. Why? Because that was just, we ain't gonna go there. Yeah, but that's just how perverted we are. You can't trust your kid around these people. Not good. And that's all based on religious structure. When you got people talking about, if I send my child to be an altar boy, is he gonna come back, the way he went? That's not good. And that's in the church. Okay, let's go. Let me write this up. I'm just trying to get a breakdown of y'all history. Y'all history is y'all like little boys. That's crazy. Right thinkers are the product of what? Spiritual history. Watch this. To know thyself, you will need to have or acquire spiritual knowledge, not biblical knowledge. Why? I'm going to use for that. We want spiritual knowledge. That's why. Ours. I say ours meaning our ancient ancestors. Right thinking philosophy is all what? Spiritual, aka God, and gaining knowledge of self with what? Daily practice to manifest for yourself your relationship with God by living the right way. It ain't gonna change because you're religious. Nope, it'll make a difference. Still, you can do the same thing. I ain't telling you not to be a Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I'm just telling you to be more spiritual. Learn the history and get information that will serve you, that benefit you. That's all. I use spiritual truths. Excuse me. I learned spiritual truths and I use them and I learned to master them over the years by what? Daily practice for what? Years. It ain't gonna happen overnight. You ain't gonna become wise and smart in a couple of weeks or a few months. Consistency. Okay. See how long you can keep this thing going. If it's good and positive, you live it. It's one way of life. My thing with philosophy is how I live. Teaching it is easy. Why? Because I'm just showing you how I do. I do it for you. Let's go. All right, let me write this up. Again, I appreciate you. If you learn right thinking philosophy or spiritual truth, aka history, you will know the spiritual truth for yourself and you can choose to live it or not. It's your choice. But if you don't have it, you can't make a choice based on what you can do for yourself. I'm a product of spiritual history. Proud of it. I know my spiritual truth and my spiritual history. Why? Because I studied it, I lived it, I manifested it for myself. If you claim to be a master of something, and there's anything about what you claim to be a master of, you don't know, you can't claim mastery. So if you claim to master yourself, you should have every aspect of yourself covered. I do. So that's what the name of the game. When you can say that, then you're the right thing to master. Moving on. Knowing your history. In every religious group, I guarantee every Jew know the Jews' history. Every Chinese know their history. Every Muslim, why? They study to show yourself approved. You can't be part of anything without studying. So whatever you follow, you still need to be studying. I'm proficient at studying. But it's more better to live it, manifestation of what you're learning. That's the power that's in the knowledge. Religious history is not a secret, but Christians don't learn or study religious history. Why is that? No, wait. Moving on. You can, watch this, you can be whatever or practice whatever religion you choose, but you still need to know that history. I tell you, the Jews did their bar mitzvah. They learned their heritage. They learned to speak their language. They learned to hold their discipline. They learned a few things about themselves that they grow into at the age of 13. So different concepts, different views, but it's learning the history that makes the difference. The religion, excuse me, the reason why I chose ancient Egyptian concept, Shitat Netta, Semitai, why? Was because what I learned about this history and what I put to use, the manifestation that I got from what they taught me, I know it to work. So that's right thing of philosophy. Now I done brought it down to what I do in my way. Let's go. And if you follow religion or spiritual history concepts, You need to learn and understand them for yourself. Know thyself, know thy history. Last one, I'm wrapping up. Get a preacher to tune in. Shouldn't take too much of your time again. Right thinkers know what? Religious history. Yeah, that's not a big deal. But as well, we also learn and live our spiritual history. I don't disclaim nothing about religion. I just don't practice them. I fellowship with like-minded people about God. I don't claim to be none of them. No disrespect intended, but I am a spiritualist. I can socialize and fellowship with any religious concept that you have. That's a true spiritual. That's what right thing philosophy teaches you. That's what I've got to profess, and that's the end of my lesson. I'm out.